Very good morning to all of you who are watching this YouTube channel of IIMT Group of Colleges, Greater Noida. This is Archana Singh from BJMC department delivering the lecture on the foundations of creative writing. So before I proceed, I want to let you know that before proceeding for any intelligence part, imagination is the most integral part of any writing. So let's begin. Part 1. If you write anything, writing anything means getting ideas. To grip with the sum of the basic creating writing, getting those first words down on paper or on your computer screen. Free writing as a tool to help you free up your imagination, keeping a writer notebook and a writing diary, and the importance of writing and reading widely for the creative writer. It means that whatever you want to write, whatever you want to deliver, the things which we need is the imagination, a writing diary, a notebook, and most important, the words which you note down on the paper or on your computer screen. Before we proceed for any writing step, either it should be creative writing or it should be freehand writing, you will start by simply getting writing. Don't hesitate to write anything, but just make yourself as a free writing and a free handwritten artist. Third, get writing. Actually, it's a great feeling putting your words down with the hope someone else will read them. If you're expecting them, someone read your article, someone expect to give you any critic's thought, so it's more important that it's not as scary to write anything. You might be asking question like, can I actually write? Or how on earth will I get started? So, here is how you to get writing. You start with what's in your head. And that actually means putting any words which came up in your mind to the paper. In your head, writing about it, thinking about it. Before you begin to write any step, get yourself ready. Ready to write anything synchronously. Pull a blank page, either if you are having a laptop, if you are using any tablet, write in the Word document or something similar or on your screen. Pick a pen and a piece of paper, which is actually most important. Write down that came into your head as you looked at the picture. That might have been one of the several important things. Whatever image you are watching, wherever you are watching any scenario, just put it, the picture as you want to write. Proceeding ahead, a description of what you see, something you thought about the picture while writing, a memory actually that came in your head as you looked, something what's happening to you as you looked at it, some other surprising thing or some other surprising element that you actually want to write. And letting to know you that feeling, desire, and magical. It's the three essence to write anything. You need to feel which you actually want to write. You have something desirable that you want to write. And after adding all this content, there is a power of magic that make your writing more creative. So using written language to bring the feeling out of the head and onto the paper. Writing that couriers ideas and thoughts in an imaginative way, using emotion, passion, and magic. As I really want to share a thought that the writer David Morley, he always explained the definition of creating writing, which means that it's about passion. Passion emboldens you. A passion for language will push you through a wall of words, and a passion of writing that push up the temperature of your written bodies. So, writing is actually magical. It transports us. It couriers us. Remembrance, the last time you were out in the essentials, wherever you are roaming, wherever you are thinking, just keep remembering that what you have observed. Feeling the wind, snow, or pounding rain on your face, the chill in your bones. Open your eyes when you are ready to write about this. Stay actually in the moment as you write. The moment you need is the foremost important thing, because to be in the moment as a part of writing is the most important. Free writing. As an integral part of every student, every freelancer, that free writing is the key. The idea that you write non-stop for set a period of time, that you write whatever you like, even complete nonsense, just write. You don't need to worry about spelling, your grammar, your presentation, and the content, but free writing is that keep you going until setup time is actually up. So most important, what we have saw, the idea to write is non-stop. Set up your soul free. Write whatever you write, even complete nonsense, right? You don't need to worry about the spelling. You don't need to worry about the grammar, the punctuation. What you need is just to write. Write it down from your whole heart. And as many workshops always tell you about creative writing is that put your pen to paper, start writing. Don't stop. Don't let your hand stop moving at all. For 5 minutes at least. It's an exercise which every student, every individual, if he or she wants to write, here is an exercise which also you can learn. So put your pen to paper, start writing, don't stop. Don't let your hand stop moving at least for 5 minutes. It doesn't matter what you write. If you can't think of anything, write. I don't know what to write over. Multiple times student asks, some individual asks that I actually don't know what to write and how to maintain this exercise into a long duration of the time. But until another thought occurs to you, just keep writing. Remember that no one will ever see your free writing. So you can be completely uninhibited. And the essence of any writing, the salt of any dish, ideas don't keep a timetable. It means that there is no pattern to develop any idea. There are no rules about what to write in your notebook. There are no rules just to write on your notebook. Ideas, they can occur to you at most of the awkward time. Like sometime if we are in the kitchen, if we are cooking the dishes, if we are having a conversation one-to-one with our friend, with our colleague, what comes in our mind is the idea. And actually at that moment is a very awkward time. So when you are shopping, you are at the gym, you are at the dentist, and so on. This is why the most writer keep a notebook handy. Notebook is actually something private. It's a very private to us. So maintaining the decorum of a notebook or a diary, a notebook is for collecting raw material. That scrap of an idea that came up in your mind, or the idea that came in while traveling on the bus, or the image that you have in your head when you wake up. It's not really a place for editing. Perhaps most importantly, a notebook is something private where you can put your raw ideas into it. Lettering diary. As we are in our school age, if we are learning, lettering diary. A writing diary is actually more like a traditional diary writing, which you write down your thoughts, your experiences, your day-to-day schedule is more in a considered way. But in this case, focusing on writing experience in particular. One of the most important diary writing has been famous by Virginia Woolf, a very famous writer of literature, that one of the most famous diaries was written by the early 20th century novelist Virginia Woolf, who wrote actually 26 volumes. After her death, her husband, Leonard Woolf, desired and distilled his down a single volume. Actually, it includes those entries which you discussed in her own writing or that of other people. Actually, it's a very wonderful book. Even it's a funny and sometimes it became a wise. And coming up, reading as a writer. What you can learn about from reading? Well, it's important that you read for a pleasure and for enjoyment. Getting sucked into book, it won't diminish your enjoyment to appreciate the way of writer. It creates particularly beautiful sentences or a tightly plotted story that keeps you on the edge of the sofa. Read widely. Explore a diverse range of genres and of author to explore yourself in the different writing style. If you start reading the different genre, if you start reading different writers, then you develop a different persona to write and to explore in the horizon of writing. Analyze how favorite authors convey the emotion, the character, and create immersive settings. Develop your voice. Your writing voice is your unique way to express yourself. Experimenting with different tones, the tones of your voice, the perspectives of your writing, the narrative style, until you don't find you feel authentic to you. Don't be afraid to inject your personality into experiences into writing. Imaginary and descriptive language. Use vivid, sensory-rich descriptions to paint a picture in the reader's mind. Appeal to the senses. Choose words that evokes emotions. Balance the detail which you actually want to write. The brevity of the content is the most important in the writing style. Allowing readers to engage with your own imagination, because if you are working with the imagination, if you are writing something which is more fictional, the most important to indulge the forefront audience into your own writing. Show, don't tell. It means that instead of directly stating emotion or event, show them through actions, through dialogue, and the minor details about the architecture, about their dressing style, about their behavior, about their everything. Allow readers to experience the story more intimately. Create somehow the most complex creators and the characters, because developing a multi-dimensional characters with distinct personalities, motivation and flaw. As a human being, we are having multi-dimensional character. Sometimes we are accurate, sometimes we are developing flaws, sometimes we are in the anger, and sometimes we are into another mood. So we need to develop a complex character in one story. A reader connects more deeply with the character that they can relate to empathize with. Experiment with structure. Play with different narrative structure. Play with the timeline. Play with the perspectives. This can add more integrity, uniqueness to your writing. Don't be afraid to experiment with non-linear storytelling or unconventional timelines. Actually, it's more important, because if we stop experimenting, if we are preparing same-day meal to any of these style of writing, it would be a very linear process of writing. So you need to just experiment yourself with the writing and the unconventional timeliness. Dialogue. Craft authentic and dynamic dialogue that reveals the character personalities and the advances in the plot. Use dialogue to show relationship, the conflict, the unique voice and the unique atmosphere of each and every character. You need to pay attention to the rhythm and to the flow of their conversation, because The continuity which we maintain with the rhythm and the flow of their conversation is the most linkage way to connect with the character. Pacing. Actually, it's the most underrated term in the writing style. Controlling the pace of the narrative you build, the tensions or the allow moment of reflection. Vary the speed of your prose to match the mood and the event of the story. The answer in this that if a character is in a good mood, we need to maintain the pace of that story. If the character is in a bad mood, we need to create that particular atmosphere in that area. If a writer is in a bad mood, he always writes bad. So the most important thing in the writing style is pacing. Pacing actually develop the character mood and the character scenario. Themes and symbols. Explore theme that resonates you. Weave them into your writing. Integrate symbol and motive that add depth and layer to your storytelling. Example, if you want to show a romantic shot in any movie, so the most important shot or the most important pacing is that you need to always show the balcony, which represent the arena of Romeo and Juliet. It's a basic term in the writing style. If you watch Imtiaz Ali movie, there you can watch the area where he always used to show the balcony, where couple and the last they get to meet each other, the train. So it's a symbol that you always write. It's a symbol that you always adjust in the form of storytelling style. Consistency. Maintaining consistency is a style throughout the narrative. Don't afraid to break the rule for a specific effects. Whatever you want to write, just write. Maintain that consistency. If you don't want to write, it doesn't mean that you will leave a paper blank. So it's very a wrong thought. So maintain the consistency in the writing style throughout the writing. Remember, developing a unique creative writing style takes time and practice. Embrace your individuality and allow your voice to evolve. So then only you gain more and more and more experiences. So it's not a one-day job. So it is a long-term process. There only you can embrace the individuality of the writing. Thank you and keep learning.